Hello guys, I'm Shlok and you're watching Tech Burner. You guys might have seen that the iPhone processors or the processors that Apple makes score a lot better in benchmarks as compared to like the Qualcomm processors or the Samsung made processors or some other ones. So I try to give you guys an exact answer and I won't give you vague opinions like it's because it has better cores or something like that. So let's get straight into it. Some of you guys might not know this, but most of the octa-core processors in the market right now are actually just dual-core processors that have like multiple threads. So they can run like one CPU in like 4 parts, and that's how they make up kind of like cores. In some cases, it can be useful if you need some low power cores for battery saving and some high performance cores for other tasks. So essentially, when we are comparing Apple to any other processor, we are actually comparing the dual core processor with another dual core processor. No matter what amount of cores they show on paper, Apple might have 6, they might have 8 and 10 or something else. In the previous Apple A10 chip, there were 4 cores, 2 were like low performance cores, 2 were high performance cores, and all of them could not work at the same time. But it is very different on Qualcomm processors. All can work at the same time. But now it has been improved, or like Apple has changed it in the A11 chip, and this has massively improved the multi-core scores and benchmarks. So when we compare the A11 Bionic with the Snapdragon, I'm comparing these two because we have full information about both of these processors, and also they are of the same generation. You can see Apple uses a hexa-core processor and the Snapdragon is an octa-core, but still the single-core score of Apple is more than double than that of Snapdragon. And the Geekbench multi-core score is also quite significantly high. That's actually because Apple has been making 64-bit processors for a long time, and the first 64-bit on the mobile was released by Apple in 2013 and no one expected it. So when it comes to processors on Android mobile phones, the architecture is designed by ARM. The processor itself is designed by Qualcomm. So putting 64-bit on a phone was a two-step process for Apple. But for any other smartphone manufacturer, they had to wait for ARM to release the correct architecture and then Qualcomm to build the processor itself, and then the Android phone company to actually adopt it. And this took a lot more time. And since then, Qualcomm processors have been playing like catch up, and they are kind of like 2 generations behind the Apple one. And because of this, we also saw a lot of failures by Qualcomm. There were a lot of smartphone processors that used to overheat. The Snapdragon 650, even the high-end processors were like overheating a lot more, because they were trying to put 64-bit octa-core and almost everything into one single chip, and they had not tested it perfectly. And because of this close-knit integration in Apple, the processor is designed by Apple, the software is also designed by Apple, the motherboard itself is also designed by Apple, and it's kind of like very closely packed and they can work together with each other. But when it comes to the Android smartphone market, the processor architecture is designed by ARM, so they have to like make profit on that, and then Snapdragon has to make profit, and then Samsung also has to make profit. So the profit is divided into different layers, but when it comes to Apple, it's just one single company. So because of this, the company tries to like cheap out on different stuff, or like put a little bit less in the processor itself so that they can make a little bit more profit. And some of you guys might not know, but Apple puts double the amount of silicon as compared to Samsung or any other processor manufacturing brand in their mobile processors I'm talking about. And silicon is very expensive, and this is actually the profit margin of ARM, Snapdragon and all these other companies. And because Apple has more silicon inside the chip, they can put like more cache memory in the chip itself. And some of you guys who might not know, cache memory is the fastest memory that's on a computer, and it's kind of like a rule of thumb: the more amount of cache memory that you have inside a processor, the faster it will run. Apple has been putting in level 3 cache for so many years now, but we only have level 2 cache on most of the Android phones. ARM has still not tried to support level 3 cache. And the total amount of cache that you have on an Apple processor is way more than the one that you get on any Snapdragon processors, even though Apple has level 3 cache, which is way more better than the level 2 cache. So although iPhone and Qualcomm processors might have a different business model because of how the company works, but they are still really powerful processors. And you can also see in the mid-range bracket, Qualcomm is making extremely good quality processors. So let's hope these companies keep making like amazing processors like they're doing right now, and we see great devices in the future. And that was kind of it for this video. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and let me know if this was informative enough in the comment section below, or it was too technical. And you can of course subscribe to this channel for more content like this.